If you need to prove your status for a mortgage or loan using a share code, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll provide a step-by-step instruction as well as explanation. So watch to the end because there's some valuable information, and I will talk to you about some tips on how to get the very best mortgage in the UK.
Once you have signed in, you will be able to view your e-visa to check what rights you have in the UK. What is SHARECODE? A SHARECODE is a unique code generated by individuals who are not British or Irish citizens to digitally prove their immigration status to others, such as employers or landlords. This code allows them to verify an individual's right to work or rent in the UK without requiring physical documents, streamlining the process and enhancing security.
So this is really important because if you're looking for a mortgage, the bank is going to need to verify that you do have a right to reside in the UK and understand how long you will be here. So the share code is a vital step. Now, if you just want to know how to produce it, you can skip ahead, but I do want to give you some context as to what exactly it is.
Who can get a share code? You can use this service to get a share code if you have a biometric residence card or permit, a UKVI account. You will have a UKVI account if you have ever applied to the EU settlement scheme, used the UK immigration ID check app to prove your identity when applying for a visa, created one when applying for a visa. You will have received a UKVI account confirmation email, created one to get access to an e-visa. What is View and Prove service?
So the View and Prove service is essentially the system that you're going to be using to produce the documentation that your mortgage broker or lender needs. Now, when you're producing this, it's only going to be valid for 90 days. And as part of the mortgage process, you want to make sure that you have these documents ready in advance, which is why this is a very useful video.
With the View and Prove service, you can view your e-visa online at any time. Get a share code to prove your status to others, for example employers. Update personal details in your UKVI account, for example your passport number or email address. Check what rights you have in the UK, for example the right to work, rent or claim benefits. How to use View and Prove service. To get started, you will need details of the identity document you use to sign into your UKVI account, such as your passport.
So make sure you have the documents ready before you start the next part of this process, because it will be required and necessary in order for you to produce the documentation that you need.
National identity card or biometric residence permit, your date of birth and the mobile number or email address you use to access your account. To use the View and Prove service, go to government.uk/view-prove-immigration-status and sign in using your UKVI account details. To share your immigration status, select Get a Share Code on the e-visa page. It is important you choose the right option. For example, selecting To Prove My Right to Work will share information only on your right to work in the UK, and the share code generated cannot be used to prove your status for any other reason, for example.
Now, that's something that happens quite regularly, so make sure you're generating the correct code. I can't tell you how many times someone has sent a code over to me, and when I'm trying to produce the documentation, I end up getting an error code. So pay close attention to this part of the video.
Example, your right to rent, study or access benefits. Your three options are: to prove your right to work, to prove your right to rent in England, to prove your immigration status for anything else.
So that's the one that you're going to need, the immigration status for anything else.
When you provide a share code to an organization to check your status, they will only see the information related to the share code and they won't have access to your account. Once you have picked the reason for sharing, and you have selected Continue, you will be taken to a page which shows you what the person checking your status will see. Then select Create a Share Code and it's ready for sharing.
So that's the share code that I actually put on the file when I am producing a mortgage quote or sending the information over to the bank. And you'll be able to see what I can see as a mortgage broker. When I access it, it will ask me for the name of my firm, and you are protected by GDPR. But as you can see here, it will show you what I will be seeing when you produce the share code and send it over to me.
You can make a note of the share code or email it to yourself or someone else. There are no limits on how many times you can request a share code.
I'm going to cover off something that I get asked about a lot. So this part of the video, I'm just going to walk you through producing the share code. I'm going to show you from a web page where I'm going to break it down step by step. Depending on what type of learner you are, you may have appreciated the first part of the video, or this part of the video may be what you need, because you need to produce a share code to show your residency status in the UK for a mortgage or for a loan. Specifically when I'm doing a mortgage for someone that does not have a UK passport. And this is how to generate a share code. So there's several reasons why you would need a share code. You may have an EU settlement scheme, EUSS, or you may have a BRP. Now here's how you are going to generate your share code. The first thing you'll do is you will navigate to the website gov.uk view-prove-immigration-status. When you go there, you'll click on the start button. As you can see here, the start button is prominent, so we pointed it out right there. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to enter the identity document that you used on your application. So was it a passport, was it a national identity card, or was it a biometric resident card or permit? The next step, let's just say you used your passport, you would enter your passport number, then click continue. Next, you're going to enter your date of birth. Hopefully you know your date of birth, so you'll enter that and click continue. After that, you'll say, how do you want to receive the security code? Do you want to receive it by phone or by email? I imagine most people will want it sent to their phone. And then you click continue. You'll check your phone, enter the security code, click continue, and then it will produce your immigration status. Now, if you're using this for a mortgage, you'll need to generate this share code to send over to the mortgage broker. You may need to send it to the lender. So you'll click on prove your status, get a share code. So get a share code to prove your status. You may find that someone needs to confirm things like your right to work or live in the UK. This could be before you arrive or while you're here. You give them access to the information by creating the share code. The share code is valid for 90 days. So make sure that if you are doing something and you provide a share code that's going to take more than 90 days, be prepared to produce another one. Now, this is the important part for a mortgage. It's going to say, why do you need a share code? Do you need it to prove the right to work, including placements? That's not what I need as a mortgage broker. To prove the right to rent, I also don't need that. The one that I need is to prove the immigration status for anything else. For example, studying, council housing, or to get a driving license. So I need the third option. You click continue. This is related to right to work. That's not what we're looking for. So then you're going to provide your details or the share code to the individual, in this case to the mortgage broker or to me. Now the share code will be something that you'll send over to them, and then they'll be able to log in and produce the document that they need to verify your visa status. So make sure that you get this and it's ready, that when you're sending over things like your 3 months bank statements, 3 months pay slips, etc., you're able to send them the share code. So that's a really important part. So when you are preparing to do a mortgage and you're dealing with a mortgage broker, hopefully you'll reach out to me. So if you've been producing the share code and you don't have a mortgage broker, please check the information in the description. You'll be able to get through to me. I love working with people who this is their very first property in the UK. People that have a skilled worker visa. In a lot of cases, I can get them approved even when they didn't think that they could get approved. Now, what you're going to need, you're going to need 3 months worth of bank statements. You're going to need 3 months worth of pay slips if you are employed, PAYE, meaning that you get a pay slip every month. So you're going to need 3 months of bank statements, 3 months worth of pay slips. You'll need proof of your identification. So in most cases, that's going to be your passport. And just as a rule of thumb, when you're scanning your passport, make sure that it's fully visible, make sure there's no glare, and make sure that there's at least 2 inches of space around the passport that the compliance department will be able to accept that passport. You'll need proof of your address. In most cases, you cannot use a mobile phone bill. So what we'll be looking for is a council tax or a utility bill. So 3 months bank statements, 3 months pay slips. If you can get a P60, that's hugely useful. You're going to need proof of your identification. You're going to need proof of your address and proof of your deposit. So if you use multiple bank accounts and you transfer money between bank accounts, you're going to need to provide 3 months of each of those bank accounts, because as we review your bank statements, if we see money being transferred between bank accounts, we need to know where it's going and what the purpose of that is. I have another video on how to produce a credit score through Check My File. You will need to provide your credit score, and Check My File is the most comprehensive way of providing that credit score. So my name is Anthony Lindsay, and if you're looking for a mortgage, make sure you reach out to me. Check the description below. But this has been an overview on how you produce your share code. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Entrepreneurism, and it's become romanticized, because before entrepreneur was just somebody with a job, without a job, with an idea, and now we've made it into this thing that it's this really exciting thing. And I just think most people shouldn't be entrepreneurs. I think more people should be looking to be great employees, but if you do feel that you're going to be a business owner, you should do it the right way, and you should be doing it for the right reasons. And if you get to the stage where you have a limited company or corporation, whatever your business format, it should be something that you're leveraging. So you should understand why you're starting that limited company. You should have the right things in place to ensure that you actually have a company